Fargo Bank. Hi, I'm Catherine Gray, founder of She Angel Investors and co-founder of the She Angels Foundation. I'm also the podcast host of Invest in Her and an award-winning producer, author, and TEDx speaker. Our show, Invest in Her, features phenomenal female founders and funders. As you know, women receive less than 2% of venture capital funding. Our series is about accelerating the funding of women by connecting them to funding resources. Let's meet today's guest. Welcome to this week's episode of Invest in Her. I'm your host, Catherine Gray, founder of She Angel Investors and co-founder of the She Angels Foundation. And more recently, I'm producing a movie called Show Her the Money. And so excited to have on today a very special guest from Israel. Her name is Noga Levtzion-Nadan. Did I say that right?
Noga Levtzion-Nadan, but it's okay. Noga is good enough.
There you go. We'll call her Noga.
Yeah.
And Noga is the managing partner of the Value Squared Responsible Investment House in Israel and also CEO and founder of Greeneye ESG. She is a trailblazer in promoting responsible investment. We're so happy to have her with us today. Hi, Noga. How are you?
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Good. Well, responsible investing is so key and so important to the future of our world. I'm so happy that you're a champion of it, and want to talk about all the cool stuff you're doing in Israel, but how it affects anyone around the world who could utilize your research and your investment platforms to invest in impact investing and responsible investing. So let's talk about the two important things that you do. First of all, you have an award-winning platform that you call Greeneye ESG. You're the founder of that. That's a research company that helps determine the ESG of companies. So let's talk about what ESG is. Not everybody knows. Environmental, social, and governance. So you do the research on companies about how they measure up in those areas. Is that right?
Yeah. We are looking at all the companies in Israel that are in the stock market in Israel, in the Tel Aviv stock market, and we assess them in all the criteria of ESG. So when we say all the criteria of ESG, we need to remember that the ESG is divided to environment, to social, to human rights, to human capital. How do you treat your workers? How do you sustain them? How do you ensure that they have their career developed? Then we get to community involvement, and that's where we're looking at how those companies are dealing with the issues they are creating. For example, if you're looking at medical companies, pharmaceutical companies, you are interested to see how they are doing what are they doing with access to medicine? Or if it's a food company, what do they do about obesity? All those issues that are related to that. And then you have all the idea of business behavior. How do they lobby? How do they work with their clients? How do they work with their competitors, by the way? All of that. And then we have the board of the whole idea of corporate governance, the usual thing that we are looking at as checks and balances, and how is that? So
would that mean, like, for instance, on a board, do they have diversity on their board? Do they have women on their board, LGBTQ, BIPOC? I see. So you're kind of checking on these companies, and this is for this research, by the way, is then fed to the institutions, the financial institutions in Israel, so they can determine who to invest their monies in that is following this ESG responsibility factors, so that's where the dollars get invested. Is that right?
Yeah, it's integrated with other financial aspects. It's not the only aspect they invest with, but the idea is that it's added to the financial aspect that we're usually looking at. And what it helps is to understand how are those companies riskier or less risk, that have less risks, or they have opportunities of investing with. So
and let
the
me
idea
stop
is,
you there for 1 second,
yeah,
because I know that what you have said is that people often think there's no such thing as investing in impact and a big return. And that's absolutely not true. And that's what your research is proving also, is that you can invest in impact and make a difference in the world and make a profit at the same time, right?
yes, yes. And I think that's where we go to value squared, because in value squared, we are managing money. And we see that if you're doing it properly, and if you know how to do ESG, you can make impact while making a profit, even better than the benchmark sometimes.
So let me tell people what you're talking about. So you've got your research firm, which is Greeneye ESG, doing all this research for the Israeli financial institutions. You then take that information, and it's also accessible to the people that want to invest in impact through your fund, which is managing. You're the managing partner for Value Squared Responsible Investment House. And so individuals can have you, high net worth individuals, put their money into this to make sure through your research that's being utilized that they are actually investing, making responsible investments that make an impact. And it's been very profitable. And the reason that they would want to do this, I think, and I'm sure that's why you created all of this, is we often think that we're investing in something that's responsible, but it's not been vetted. And so we often think we are, but we're not. And what you're doing is taking away the guessing game. Your research company is proving that these companies are doing all the things you said: humanity, treating their employees right, making sustainable products, all of the things that they say they're doing, you're researching to make sure they're doing. And then people can go to your Value Squared Responsible Investment House in Israel and invest and know that they are investing in companies that actually do impact the planet. Is that correct?
It's totally correct. I would just enlarge it that we're not, Value Squared is not just dealing with Israel. Its main investments are all around the globe, mainly in America, mainly in North America companies. We have one, our flagship is a North America Impact Fund that invests only in the companies we choose from the S&P 500. And as you said, it's exactly what you said. People are coming to us if they want to understand that they want, one, their money to make a profit, but also to ensure that their money is doing good, or at least not doing that bad.
Right. And I know you stay away from certain types of sectors in your investment, like, petroleum or whatever. It's a lot of the ones on the public market that the average person does invest in, not only are they not impacting the world in a positive way, they're actually impacting it in a negative way. And I think most people don't want to put their money into companies that are hurting the planet, especially the young people are coming up. They're starting to be investors. I think they want to be aware of what companies truly are making a difference in underserved communities and in the planet's environment at large. So very important to make sure that ESG is at the core of their investments: environmental, social, and governance of these companies. And so I really applaud you, as a woman starting this research company that really vets these companies. And thanks for clarifying that, not just in Israel, but around the world, companies that you're vetting to make sure that they're following those standards. So if someone was listening and they want to make sure that they are investing in the right companies, can they access Greeneye ESG, and can they access Value Squared Responsible Investment House? How do they do those two things?
So in terms of Greeneye ESG, the database. It's open mainly for institutional investors because we feel that it's a tool that you integrate with the financials. It's less for private individuals that are interested in a specific company. They can access to our the idea of investing through Value Squared, that is an investment house that you can buy our funds, and then you can be sure that your money is managed properly in terms of impact and in ESG. And all of our clients have full transparency to what we invest in, and also we are checking all the time our impact performance. So every month, each of our investors gets his financial performance and next to the impact performance, and we show that because the way we invest, we have a quarter of the carbon footprint. We have we have a better ESG in as an average score, and then we show them that you actually make the difference. Because one of the things, I think you mentioned it before, that there's a lot of abuse of the word ESG. And I think there's a lot of criticism.
I think they call it, what do they call it? Greenwashing?
Greenwashing. Because we see that because people are not aware of what they really and actually investing in, some products call themselves ESG. And then they find out that they're absolutely identical to their benchmark. So why bother? And and that's, I think, made a lot of people very, let's say, suspicious about ESG. Right. And I think one of the things, it's not the ESG's problem. It's not the problem of the ESG. It's a problem of how to use it. And the way that it's abused is, I think that's where the problems are. And that's why when you find, I think we need to do two steps with investors. First, they need to understand that if they don't look at things, and if they don't look at their ESG, their companies still have an impact, a negative impact. Could be a negative income, it could be a positive impact, but it's not known. Right. And what I'm saying is that you need to start looking for it. But when you decide that you do want to do ESG and impact investing in the public equity world, you need to check and to see what difference are you making there, because it's not obvious.
Right. And with Value Squared Responsible Investment House that you're a managing partner at, are people having an opportunity to invest in funds that invest in these impact companies, or is there opportunity to invest directly in private equities, or is it mainly funds?
It's funds that are holding the public equities. So we have also a managed portfolio, separate managed portfolio for people that don't want to do it in funds, want to invest through a managed portfolio. So that's another option. I think just one second thing that I want to stress. I think we are speaking about, a lot of time when we speak about ESG, we speak about values. But I want to bring us to the risk and opportunity issue. When you invest without looking at your ESG, you are exposed to 4 types of risks. First of all, their reputational risks. Second, those companies that are not there, that are not doing ESG, have reputational risk that could damage their name, could damage their profit. Second, it's regulation risks. Those companies are more exposed to regulation and trials and law cases. The third one is human capital, and they have less ability to find talents. And the fourth thing is operational risks. So I think it's important to stress to our audience, to your audience, to understand that it's not just a nice thing to have. It's not just we don't want to do bad things and negative things. It's just also, that's why it might be profitable if you do it properly.
Absolutely, 100%. I love the work you're doing. How would someone find out about investing? Give us your website, your social, whatever you could share.
Okay, so first of all, our website is www.value2.co.il.
Is the 2 spelled out, or is it numeral, or?
It's the 2 is a numeral. It's
Number.
value2.co.il. And you're invited to LinkedIn, Noga Levtzion-Nadan. It's my name, and you'll find me. And you're also invited to watch my TED Talk that speaks about women and investments.
I saw that. I love the title of it. What does your money say about you?
Exactly.
Yes, I was watching that. So yeah, catch Noga's TED Talk, visit their website. She's doing amazing work in the world. Just a phenomenal woman, and we appreciate having you on as a guest today with this invaluable information and insight. We can find you on LinkedIn and any other social media.
Facebook also.
Yeah, great. Me too. Okay, well, and you can find me, Catherine Gray, on Instagram, which is Catherine Gray Invest in Her. We are also sheangelinvestors.com. So you can find us on social. And then finally, we do have a movie out called showherthemoneymovie.com. We're going on a 50-city tour around the globe. We may be in a city near you, so check that out as well. And we are on social with that too. Everybody, thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. Noga, thank you for being here and being a wonderful guest.
Thank you for doing such an amazing job.
Thank you.